Good afternoon. This is the Gedling Borough Council Appointments and Conditions of Service Committee. Before we start the formal business of the meeting, I must remind you all that the audio of this meeting is being live broadcast on the Council's website, and the video of the meeting will be published after the meeting. There is more information about this on the inside cover of the agenda. Before we start, I'd also like to introduce the officers supporting today's meeting. My name is Alec W. I'm the Democratic Services Manager and Clerk. We also have Helen Barrington, Director of Organisational Development and Democratic Services, and David Archer, Service Manager for Organisational Development, and Caroline McCleary from Democratic Services also. So I'll hand over to Councillor Clark, who's the chair of the meeting.
Thanks, Alec. Okay, we'll move ahead there and say that I don't think there are any apologies, but I'll just call for them.
There's no apologies for absence, Chair, but the councillors present today are Councillor John Clark, who's the Chair, Vice Chair Councillor Payne, Councillor Marge Paling, Councillor Bob Collis, Councillor Sandra Barnes, Councillor Michael Adams, and Councillor Chris Barnfather.
Great, thank you. Item 2, that's to approve as a correct record the minutes of the meeting held on 18th of December 2019. You'll find those on page 5 to 6.
Move it.
Are we agreed?
Chair, although the minutes are factually correct, I do believe that the resolved on item 33 is slightly poorly worded. I wonder if anybody else agrees with me that it could do with a slight rewrite. It's not the when you know what was talked about, you know what that decision was.
Right, okay then. Any thoughts on that, Helen? Helen, any thoughts?
I'm sorry, Chair, I was not present at that particular meeting. I think in terms of minutes, it's a decision of the committee to determine whether it's an accurate factual reflection of the resolution of that committee. Unfortunately, because I wasn't present at the committee, I can't give any specific advice about whether those words actually reflect the decision that you made.
Okay.
Chair, can I just make the comment? All I really want is to change the word can to the word to.
Oh,
Which
well.
pages is on March?
Page 6. Minutes of last meeting, item 33, under the resolved, the English is slightly complicated or poor. To note comments of the committee in order for the chief executive to make a decision.
To make a decision. Yeah, well, fair enough.
I'm sorry to be picky, but
all right. Thanks, Marge. Is that clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we agreed?
Yeah.
We're agreed. Thank you. So moving on to item 3, declarations of interest. Anyone wish to declare an interest?
how do you want us to do that? One by one? No interest?
No interest.
No interest.
Anybody else?
No interest.
None.
None.
No. Okay, then move on to item 4, which is review of the policy of menopause in the workplace. Unfortunately, this has got delayed because of the obvious that's going off at the moment. So that's on page 7 to 13. So that's Helen. Is that right, Helen?
It's David Archer, Chair.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm very focusing again. Yeah, it is. It's David. David, where are you?
I'm here, Chair. I'm not quite sure where I'm on your screen, but I am here.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
You're seeing it for 66 yesterday.
I don't think I'd want to, but thank you, Chair. So the purpose of the report, as it says, is to report back to the committee on the continued effectiveness of the menopause in the workplace policy. In terms of background, the policy itself that's shown at page 9 on Appendix 1 was authorised by committee back in April last year. As part of that process, it was asked that the report come back again in a year's time to inform committee and to make sure that the policy itself was embedded and that no further changes were required. You remember at the time that the policy itself was one of the first, or the first in the county to be adopted. And what I can say, I suppose, in support of what was in the policy and the the guidance that we offered is that a number of colleagues, both within the county boundary and beyond, have actually shown an interest in that, and some have used it as the basis of their own work. So I think as a policy that we put forward, it's worked well in that regard. To test that, what we have done is to contact trade unions, so GMB and Unison, to ask them about their views. And after consulting with members, they can confirm that there were no further changes that they would require to see in the policy. What they did ask, though, was for the policy, the existence of the policy, to be refreshed and publicised again. So it really is just making sure that the policy document and the guidance remains alive in the workplace. And so that's what's reflected in the proposals as well. In terms of equality implications, there are no further equality implications that are raised, and nor any sort of material, legal or financial implications. So I think what I would do, Chair, really is just return us back to the recommendations at section 2. And the committee is recommended to accept the proposals to firstly reaffirm the application of the existing policy, the menopause in the workplace policy, and secondly to republicise the existence of the policy to staff through normal internal communication channels. And happy to take any questions, Chair.
Thank you. Any comments from anyone?
I'm quite happy with it myself. I think that's a good idea.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
I can see that Councillor Barnfather wishes to speak. I can see a raised hand.
Oh,
I can't see that because it's not on here.
I can't.
You have to go in. You have to go in to show participants. It'll show on your right side of your screen listers, and then if a hand goes up, you can actually see it.
Unfortunately, it doesn't on an iPad.
It's on iPad.
Oh, sorry, John. If I may, anyway. Thanks for that, Marge. Just to be pedantic, but on page 10, the last black bullet point at the bottom of page 10, black bullet point. On line 3, it refers to and recognising that each women is different. Can that be woman?
It can be, thank you.
And then the following line, and will experience different symptom. Can that be symptoms?
Both of those can be, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry to be pedantic.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Anybody else? No. So I moved it.
Seconded.
Yeah, are we agreed?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
In
you.
agreement.
So there are no other items that I consider, or the chair, it says here, considers urgent. So we move on to item 6, which is exclusion of the press and public, to move that under section 100A, 4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the public and press be excluded from the meeting during consideration of the ensuing reports on the grounds that the reports involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph 4 of part 1 of schedule 12A of the Local Government Act. So I've moved that. We agreed? Seconded? Yeah.
I'll second that.
Thank you. And agreed. Thank you.
Agreed.
So now, Alec, is you switching this off
We'll
now?
just have a brief pause while I just do that. Thank you.